Disney's Goof Troop is an animated comedy television series from the Walt Disney Company featuring Goofy as a father figure and bonding with his son Max, and Pete, as his neighbor. Created by Peter Montgomery, the main series of 65 episodes ran in syndication from 1992 to 1993 on the Disney Afternoon, while an additional 13 episodes ran on Saturday mornings on ABC. One Christmas special was also produced, which ran in syndication. Premise: Goof Troop bears similarity to several early 1950s Goofy cartoon shorts which depicted Goofy as a father to a mischievous red-haired son. Goofy, a single father, moves back to his hometown of Spoonerville with his son, Max. As it happens, Goofy and Max end up moving in next door to Goofy's high school friend, Pete, a used car salesman and owner of Honest Pete's Used Cars. Pete's wife Peg, a real estate agent. And their two children, son PJ and younger daughter Pistol. Max and PJ become best friends and do practically everything together. A large portion of humor comes from the relatively normal Max's personality sharply contrasting with his father. Broadcast history and feature films. Goof Troop was originally previewed on the Disney Channel from April 20, 1992 into July 12 of that year. Like its predecessors DuckTales, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, Tailspin and Darkwing Duck and its successor Bonkers, Goof Troop was previewed in syndication with a pilot TV movie, which later aired as a multi-part serial during the regular run. The series aired on the Disney Afternoon block of syndicated animated series during the 1992-1993 broadcast season. Concurrent with the Disney Afternoon shows, another 13 episodes aired on Saturday mornings on ABC in 1992. Reruns of the series later aired on the Disney Channel, and later on sister cable channel Toon Disney. Reruns were shown on Toon Disney until January 2005. The program made a return from September 2006 until August 2008, and the Christmas special still aired on Christmas in the United States. Goof Troop was adapted into the feature film A Goofy Movie and its direct-to-video sequel, An Extremely Goofy Movie. Both films are spin-offs of the series and take place a few years after the series. The two movies featured Bill Farmer, Rob Paulsen and Jim Cummings reprising their character roles from Goof Troop in these two movies, with Jason Marsden providing the voice of a now teenager Max. Dana Hill, who provided the voice of Max, died on July 15, 1996 at the age of 32, after suffering a massive stroke related to her diabetes. Character and place titles: Pete's wife Peg is a play on Peg Leg Pete, one of Pete's names in the classic Disney shorts. Likewise, his daughter Pistol is a play on another such name, Pistol Pete. The town of Spoonerville is named after layout artist J. Michael Spooner, who designed many of the background layouts for the series. Enacted by addition, Max uses the Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard line to distract the doctors from performing surgery on PJ. This line was from the Three Stooges short, Men in Black. Characters Main cast Goofy. Goofy is the single father of Max Goof. This is mentioned briefly in one episode, where it's said that Max's mother is up there amongst the stars. It is a direct implication that she died in an undisclosed time. He and his son, Max, move next door to the Petes from their trailer home in the city. Goofy's biggest weaknesses are his short attention span, scatterbrain, and clumsiness. He often drives his neighbor Pete up the wall. Goofy is very calm, lovable, and many times will turn the other cheek when Pete insults him, though occasionally, he does get angry and gets back at him when the offense goes too far. He is very forgiving, and still considers Pete to be a friend no matter how often Pete is mean to him. Peter Petty Pete Esser is a used car salesman, who lives with his beautiful wife, Peg, and two children, his son PJ and his daughter Pistol. He is villainous, dishonest, abrasive, cunning, and suspicious. They live next door to Goofy and his son, Max. He is very cheap. He often exploits his good-hearted yet adult friend, Goofy. His schemes often backfire, or he feels guilty about his horrible behavior and works to set things right. His wife, Peg, often attempts to rid Pete of his uncouth attitude, and his son PJ is the complete opposite of his father in behavior, as he is good friends with Max. In the series and the feature film A Goofy Movie and its direct-to-video sequel, An Extremely Goofy Movie. It is revealed in the show's pilot episode that one of the reasons why Pete dislikes Goofy so much and takes pleasure in conning or undermining him. 25 years before the start of the series, when Pete was a quarterback in a big high school football game, it was Goofy who accidentally caused Pete to fumble the ball and lose the game because Goofy accidentally kicked him in the face, revealing that Goofy was on the cheerleading squad in high school. In the episode Come Fly With Me, Pete gets zapped by Hank 5000 and then turned into a fly, which parodies The Fly and the Fly. In the series, he is the co-protagonist and anti-hero. In the beginning, he viscerally hates Goofy, and tries unsuccessfully to oust him from the house where he moved, which is close to him, and he wants to build a fine fishing reserve. However, Pete and Goofy are much closer pals who get a lot more along in the feature film A Goofy Movie, and its direct-to-video sequel, An Extremely Goofy Movie. Max Goof, is the son and only child of Goofy. He is 11½ years old, and is in the same grade as his best friend PJ. At their junior high school. He is active, nice, alert and friendly. He loves his dad, and is close to him, but wishes he would be a little more normal. He wears baggy jeans, trademark gloves, brown sneakers, and a red shirt. In the feature film A Goofy Movie, and its direct-to-video sequel, An Extremely Goofy Movie, a now teenaged Max feels embarrassed by his father's demeanor. Inevitably, Max realizes Goofy has his best interest in mind and wants nothing more than to connect with him. Peg Pete is Pete's wife and the mother of both PJ and Pistol. In the pilot episode, it is revealed that Peg was a cheerleader in high school where she met Goofy and Pete. Peg works as a real estate agent in Spoonerville. She is a fashionable woman that usually wears a pink sweater, tight white pants, pink high heels, hoop earrings, and professional attire going to and from work. When Goofy briefly left Spoonerville, Peg married Pete and settled down. Over the course of the series, Peg is shown to be a great and no-nonsense mum, wise, quick-witted, sarcastic, sometimes short-tempered, and loud at times, mostly towards her husband and people who annoy her. She often defends Goofy against Pete, even going as far as kissing him to prove a point. Peg has such a loyalty towards Goofy because he is a kind person and is very good friends with him and Max, who she treats as her own son. Max looks up to Peg and respects her as if she was his mom. Peg is not present in either feature films because she was just a one-time character for the Goof Troop series. During the show, Peg was known to visit her mom and took both kids or Pistol alone with her when Pete got out of hand with his antics. Even so, during the series she shows that she loves her husband dearly. Peg was not introduced in any other Walt Disney franchises after Goof Troop went off air, but is fondly remembered as a strong female lead in a show. PJ Peter PJ Pete, Jr. is the eldest child of Pete and Peg, Pistol's older brother, and best friend of Max Goof, who calls him Pete on an occasion. He is in the same grade as Max and loves both parents, mainly Peg very much because she understands and listens to him. Max and PJ have a very strong friendship to where it is brotherly. He is generally shy, laid back, kind, and sometimes acts and talks as if he is never enthusiastic about anything, like many active preteens teenagers that like relax at home. Max is a positive best friend and encourage PJ to work together to achieve something. Like Max, PJ sometimes questions Pete's intelligence before, during, and after he gets involved in any of his dad's plans or schemes. No matter how reluctant PJ is after he voices he doesn't want to do things with his dad that will backfire, Pete becomes irritated and guilt trips PJ. When Peg finds out, she angrily fusses at Pete for doing so. PJ strongly resembles his dad physically, loves to eat and shares, wears a blue jacket, a pink turtleneck, white gloves, cerulean pants, and brown sneakers. Pistol Pete is the youngest child of Pete and Peg, and is PJ's younger sister. She has long red hair and 2 pigtails. She is 4½ years old, and is in preschool. Pete absolutely adores Pistol and gives her any and everything she wants without question and calls her nicknames like Daddy's Little Princess. Pistol is very cute, talks with a lisp, and is hyperactive like many happy children. That does not mean she's a morally disruptive little girl. She a typical girly girl who loves ponies, sparkly things, dolls, fairies, and everything pink. During the series, Pistol gets herself into a mess a few times, and either PJ and Max, or even her father to have to bail her out, in which she thanks them for. Pistol talks a lot, asks many questions rapidly, and annoys some of her fellow characters or charms them. She wears a white shirt, a black tutu, and black ballet shoes. Like most differently aged siblings, Pistol has gotten PJ into trouble for something she did. Waffles and Chainsaw are the pet cat and dog of Goofy and Pete's families. They can talk. Other characters. Danielle, the TV news reporter, appears in a few episodes. One is Goof Fellas. Spud and Wally are two criminals and the major antagonists who literally steal Pete's house in A Nightmare on Goof Street, who makes off with his RV&O, RV-INVU, and hold him for a ransom in The Good, the Bad, and the Goofy, in which they are finally incarcerated. Even though they're dim-witted, they are described in the latter of the episodes as two of the most wanted crooks in the country. General Robert Bob Sparrowhawk is Peg's retired uncle and great-uncle of PJ and Pistol. Harold Hatchback is the public announcing host and Pete's rival, that appeared in Rex, Lies, and Videotapes, Buddy Building, Mrs. Spoonerville, and Slightly Dingy. Coupe Hatchback is the strongest son of Pete's rival and a public announcing host, Harold Hatchback, and he is also Max and PJ's friend. Leech is the bully, criminal, and an antagonist in the episodes, Buddy Building, and Maximum Insecurity. The Chief of Spoonerville Police is the Chief of Spoonerville Police that appears in the episodes, In Goof We Trust, Buddy Building, Counterfeit Goof, and Maximum Insecurity. The Mayor of Spoonerville is the Mayor of Spoonerville. He appears in Inspector Goofy, and A Goof of Its People. Giblet the Clown is a red-nosed clown with red lips and hair, a party hat and tie, a car horn, and a green suit who actually works with the Ringmaster. He appears in Hot Air, 3 Ring Bind, and Buddy Building. The Ringmaster is Giblet's boss and ringmaster of a rundown circus. In 3 Ring Bind, he fills the role of the antagonist as he and Giblet try to sell his circus animals to be made into puppy chow. He and Pistol become bitter enemies after the latter arrives at his circus, plays with his animals, and eventually lets them go home with her. Douglas Twinkmeyer is the chief of safety at Spoonerville School but is actually Mr. Big who sent Tooth and Nails to steal money from other children and then give them back in return for their baseball cards. Tooth and Nails, Douglas's henchman who sends them out to take money from other children. Dutch Spackle is the repairman of 2 episodes, Unreal Estate, and A Pizza the Action. Bubbles is a friendly and nice green pigmented, dragon-like dinosaur from the episode, Great Expectations. Goof History Cast Fester Swollen, is Ancestor Goofy's partner, voiced by Michael Goff. Goofy Knock-Knees, is Goofy's first ancestor. Appears in the episode, Goofin Hood and His Melancholy Men, the first of the Goof History episodes. A spoof of Robin Hood. Elliot Goof, is Goofy's second ancestor. Appears in the episode, The Ungoofables, the second of the Goof History episodes. A spoof of The Untouchables. Sherlock Goof, is Goofy's third ancestor. Appears in the episode, Sherlock Goof, the third of the Goof History episodes. A spoof of Sherlock Holmes. Mopalong Goofy, is Goofy's fourth ancestor. Appears in the episode, Gunfight at the Okie Dokie Corral, the fourth of the Goof History episodes. Caveman Goof, is Goofy's fifth and final ancestor. Appears in the last episode, Clan of the Cave Goof, the last of the Goof History episodes. Additional voice cast Kath Soucie as Debbie, Max's cousin and Goofy's niece, Jerry Hauser as the Duke, the leader of the Pharaohs, Kevin Michael Richardson, June Foray, Linda Gary Owens as Mr. Hammerhead, Andrea Martin as Mrs. Willoughby, Barry Gordon, Tress McNay as Peg, Hal Rail, Tino and Sana as Colonel Carter, Miriam Flynn, Charlie Adler as Magician's Hat, Igor, street theatre teacher, Nancy Cartwright as Melvin, a member of Spoonerville School's Safety Club. Bill Farmer as Dr. Frank Goof, a Goofy's great-uncle from the old country and the creator of the Frank Goof Monster. Jim Cummings as the Frank Goof Monster. Episodes. Comics. In addition to the animated series, Goof Troop was adapted into various comic strips, which were printed in several Disney comic books, such as Disney Adventures and Disney's Colossal Comics collection. P.J. Max and Pistol makes cameo in the Boom Comics Darkwing Duck on 2010. Home video releases. VHS releases. On February 26, 1993, Disney released 3 VHS cassettes of the series in the United States, titled Banding Together, Goin' Fishin', and The Race Is On. They included the episodes Shake, Rattle and Goof, Close Encounters of the Weird Mime, Slightly Dingy, Rex, Lies and Videotape, Meanwhile, Back at the Ramp, and Tubby or Not Tubby. The videotapes included a Goof Troop music video which played at the end of each tape. Additionally, on September 28, 1993, the Goof Troop episode Have Yourself a Goofy Little Christmas was released together with the Darkwing Duck episode It's a Wonderful Leaf on one VHS cassette as a special release called Happy Holidays with Darkwing Duck and Goofy. On December 14, 1994, the Goof Troop episode Halloweenies was released together with the Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers episode Ghost of a Chance on one VHS cassette as a special release called Boo Busters. UK, Australia and New Zealand releases. On November 26, 1993, 3 VHS cassettes containing 6 episodes of the series were released in the United Kingdom, Australia and New Zealand. DVD releases. On February 14, 2006, Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment released Goof Troop, Volume 1 on DVD in Region 1. This one-disc release features 3 episodes, including Slightly Dingy, Rex, Lies and Videotape, and Shake, Rattle and Goof, with no bonus material. Many fans did not buy Goof Troop Volume 1 because it has only 3 episodes and additional episodes were only available on VHS. At the time, many fans were still waiting for Disney to put out Goof Troop Volume 1 again with more episodes. The DVD release of A Goofy Movie features one episode titled Calling All Goofs, but the intro is removed. A Disney Movie Club exclusive DVD titled Have Yourself a Goofy Little Christmas contains the holiday special of the same name. In 2013, Disney Movie Club released 2 new volumes of Goof Troop on DVD. Each volume released from the Disney Movie Club includes 27 episodes of the show for a total of 54 episodes released, leaving 25 unreleased episodes to go. Goof Troop, Volume 2 and A Goof Troop Christmas are set for a wider retail DVD release in January 2015 and has been seen as a Walmart exclusive in Canada ahead of that wider release date. While Goof Troop, Volume 1 has not yet been seen on Amazon.com, it is expected to be part of the January 2015 release as well. Books, Great Expectations, Goin' Gold Fishing. Legacy, Goof Troop had a lasting impact on Goofy's career as many later appearances were built on the show's status quo. These include A Goofy Movie, Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, An Extremely Goofy Movie, House of Mouse and Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas. Goofy and Pete also appeared in Bonkers and Raw Tunage in their Goof Troop designs. References. External links. Official website, Goof Troop at the Internet Movie Database, Goof Troop at the Big Cartoon Database, Goof Troop at TV.com.